What's up, y'all? I have tried multiple times to film this video and it just keeps not working, and I just keep reminding myself of this quote. Basically, like, start now. Start stressed, start annoyed as fuck, start imperfect. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. I wanted to just have a classic honest chat with y'all. I feel like I used to do so many of these, and I wanted to talk about missing LA and what it is I do miss about LA, and just kind of like a life update and all of that. I was really kind of missing LA and my friends and everything last week, so when it came to kind of wanting to talk about it in a video, I was like, okay, like, what is it that I miss? And all of the things that I could think of were things not really specific to LA. I feel like a lot of my favorite memories are like day parties, and not necessarily like partying, but just that vibe of you like have plans on like a Saturday or Sunday. It's super nice out. There's this certain like feeling in the air, like it's like that dry heat. You're getting ready, you're FaceTiming your friends, you're like enjoying the city, it's so nice out. You're like, oh my god, I'm in California, I'm in LA. And then you go somewhere after that and then it's like nighttime and you're enjoying the city at night. And it's so funny because the times that you did not do your normal regular routine, and the times that you stayed out too late or ended up being tired the next day or even hungover, I hate to say, those are the things that you remember. Like, those are the actual memories you make. And I just saw a video about that too, where this girl was talking about how her and her boyfriend, they would always stay in the house and like watch Netflix, and they just like, she just wanted to be cozy in the house. She ended up not really making any new memories, and so she was making like a conscious effort to go do stuff more. But that's the thing, it's a very fine line to walk, I think, and I feel like that was always kind of my struggle in LA. And I mean, not that that's an LA specific thing, but just like, you know, wanting to be responsible, wanting to build my brand, get to the gym in the morning, supporting myself, but then also wanting to make memories and take advantage of being young in a big city, hang out with people, meet new people. So it's like, what do you have to do? Because especially moving into this new chapter of my life, I'm like, bro, like, if I'm gonna be moving to a new city, I want to be experiencing the city, making memories, and just like living life. So it's like, what's the balance between like doing that, not making it just be like, oh, going out every night, but then also not just staying in the house every night watching a show, but then also getting enough sleep, but then also making time for the gym. It's but then also obviously working. Look, I think it's just like, you have to accept that some days are gonna make a super iconic memory, and some days you just have to do your daily routine and that's it. And it's like boring. It's the boring days that build like your health and your life and like good habits. And I do think that social media really amplifies or romanticizes this idea of like, oh my god, like, I just want to be like meeting new people, I'm such a socialite, I'm traveling all the time, I'm just like always out, and my life is so exciting, I'm always like making memories or having new experiences. You're still a person at the end of the day, especially if you're a woman, bro. You're gonna have like PMS week, so you're not always gonna be in the mood for that. And I saw this really good TikTok the other day where this guy was talking about, you know, once you know yourself, you know that there's probably gonna be a few days out of the month where you feel like shit emotionally, you know, and you feel like all your progress or all your hard work has been for nothing, and you just feel really down and like just off. But when you know yourself, you know that, okay, this is just gonna be a few days out of the month, especially if you're a woman and you have a menstrual cycle. But it's really hard, you know, like, it's hard when you do feel down, like, okay, this is just gonna be for a day or a couple days and I'll bounce back. It feels like forever. I don't want to say this is a regret, but I definitely, because it's like, who knows where I would be if something was done differently. But I do feel like I did spend so much time in, I mean, bro, there was a pandemic too. I really forget about that. I really forget that there was a pandemic. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, I do feel like it's like I did a lot of stuff in LA, but I feel like was in my apartment a lot of the time. Like, I just remember someone asking me my favorite restaurants, and like honestly, they were kind of rude, but also I couldn't really name that many. Like, I was like, I don't know, like, I don't really go out to eat that much. And they were like, bro, like, what do you even do? And I was like, good point. But it's also like, bro, if I was eating out all the time, like, then I'd be like, oh my god, I really need to get my life together and meal prep this week, and like, oh my god, I'm just eating out way too much. So it's like being realistic. I don't know. I just remember talking to this girl, and she had definitely lived in LA less than me. Like, she wasn't from there. I think she lived there like maybe 2 years. But she was like, oh my god, LA is the best place. I would never want to live anywhere else. And this was at the time, this was probably a year ago, when I really just wanted to like leave LA so bad. It was like winter, and I was just like, oh my god, I felt so over it. And I just remember like not relating to her at all. I don't want to say the city doesn't have like this energy, but like when I have been in New York or Paris, because there's so many people, this turns into an anti-car video. There's so many people out on the street. You can run into people, you can literally just meet people on the street, and you can walk around, so you can see shit, you can just oh, we stumbled upon this restaurant, you know, let's like check it out, or we stumbled upon this cute little bar or cafe or whatever, this shop. You can't really do that in LA. Like, yeah, there's certain areas that are like more walkable, but it's a very controlled, you know, this is like a little, this is a promenade, or like this is the little shopping area. It's not the same as like a very city, like a real city where you can just walk and like see people. So I just feel like being in LA, I never really got that same sense of excitement. Sometimes walking through downtown, especially on like a weekend, but it's not the same. Everyone's just in their car, or like, where is everyone in LA? Like, genuinely, everyone's like on the freeway. It would be very rare to just like run into someone. But this is not to say that I don't have iconic memories. I don't want to say I miss me and Sonia's apartment in Hollywood, but I look back at that time, I guess fondly. Just those memories of being young, half like, oh, we were so like young, and like we had so many friends in the building, we were just kind of doing whatever. But then at the same time, I'm like, bro, I wasted so much time. Like, I could have been like working and like bettering my craft and like doing more shit. And what was I even doing? But it's also like, oh, like that was so iconic. I would say a really big moment for me, it should be when I moved out on my own, like when me and Sonia decided to get our own places. But I really feel like it was my most recent place that I moved to where I felt very proud. I loved that apartment, the specific unit. I loved the view. It was a corner unit. It would get so much light. Because I was a little bit older and had a little bit more experience, I just felt like my apartment was very much my own, and it was somewhere that I was proud to have people over. And I knew, like, bro, I fucking knew, like, when I moved out, I'd be like, damn, I miss that unit. And I do. This is the thing. I feel like everything I miss about LA, besides like friends, of course, I miss my friends. That's like separate. But as far as just like specific things about the city, everything I miss is what I am going, is what I'm moving for, you know? So that makes me excited. And I don't know, y'all, I just feel like recently, real talk, I think it's just the winter, I don't even want to say the winter blues, but like, but I just feel very much like in my own head, and just kind of anxiety, and like, oh my god, what's gonna happen this year? And when I think of things like that, I get so excited, and I'm like, I just need to keep reminding myself. Maybe you need to remind yourself, okay, life is what you make it. If I want to enjoy my life and have a good time and be fulfilled and have a fulfilling life, it is possible for me to make that happen, and I am capable of making that happen, and I will do what it takes to make that happen. Yeah, I feel like antsy almost, but then I'm also like, oh my god, time is low-key going by so fast. It's about to be March. So yeah, I feel like kind of overwhelmed, but then also my day-to-day is very much like, I have a routine. I don't want to say it's boring, but it's like not a lot happening, not a lot of like new memories happening. So we're just like waiting. Honestly, it's so funny because one of the best things about LA was like, if, you know, you weren't like trying to get somewhere and you were late and you were in traffic, but one of the best things was like being in an Uber and just like looking at the city, looking at the landscape, looking at the hills. I would love taking the Uber to the airport because I could just like look at downtown, and then like we'd go and I could just look at the palm trees and like think and like listen to my music. And I was like, you know, at least, you know, when you had to be in a car, it was usually pretty outside. I've been telling y'all I'm getting back in my manifestation bag, and you know when they talk about like in the law of attraction and stuff, that sense of like almost magic, like when you're aligned with your purpose and you start seeing like synchronicities, you start like seeing signs, and you're like, oh my gosh, or you run into someone and they like tell you exactly like what you've been thinking, or like everything's like a sign. Like, I'm trying to get back in that kind of mindset because it makes life a lot more fun. You know, they are saying that whimsy is back in, so yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. But if you're stressed out right now of your life, just remind yourself that things will change and you can be excited. I don't know if that's even helpful, but change is possible. And even when change feels so scary and like horrible and anxiety, that doesn't mean that you're not moving in the right direction. And if you have a bad day or a few bad days or even a bad week, that doesn't mean that all your work is for nothing. Anyway, let me know if you like chill chit chatty videos like this. And I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone. Me, 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 me.